Teflon John.
Yeah, it's your boy Teflon John coming to you courtesy of the I Am Teflon John podcast show. And we just want to get things going. I got a feeling that a lot of you need some motivation. And you know what time it is. You know, we just going to get you motivated, going to get you going for the week. We'll try to get you going for the rest of the weekend. But we just want to talk about a subject that I did a video on yesterday. And the title of the video is called What Do You Do? Really, it was what do you do when things are not working out? What do you do when things are not going the way you want it to? What do you do when it seems like nothing's going your way? My answer to that was keep grinding, keep pushing. And I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes in life, it's like whatever you're doing is like being at the slot machine. You know, I don't gamble, but I remember going to the casino one time and seeing like a lady sit down. And she just kept pulling the slots. You know, we would walk around, come back. The same lady was there. You know what I'm saying? Like an hour and some change goes by. And we walk around, come back. This same lady was there, pulling the slots. She may win, a little money, but not much. But when we came back, she had to look like she was frustrated and she had left. But somebody else sat down, and 10 minutes later, they hit like a high dollar jackpot. I don't think it was the highest one, but they won several $1,000s. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to whatever you're doing in life, if it's worth doing, stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. And I've been there. I've been frustrated because, you got this dream and you know what it looks like with your eyes closed. And then when you open your eyes, it's like, wow, this looks nothing like what I dreamed about. And a lot of times in life, it's going to be like that. The thing that you want, the very thing that you want, right, is going to be a struggle, it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be hard work to get there. And the reason it's going to be like that is because through that struggle, right, through that journey, right, you're going to grow and become the person that God meant for you to be. And through that journey, you will also pick up some habits. You will also pick up the knowledge that you will need to abstain and to retain whatever you're going after, because it's one thing to come into your promise or come into that, I've accomplished my goals, and then once you get it, you don't have the knowledge to keep it, to lose 100 pounds but not have the knowledge to keep the 100 pounds off, to become a millionaire but not have the knowledge of investments to actually grow that $1 million, you know what I'm saying, for you go backwards like everyone else who hits the lottery. So what I want to tell you guys is keep pushing, because I'm telling you, it's a reason why you want to do what you want to do. If there's anything that's connected to your purpose, make sure that your purpose is connected to people, because sometimes when it comes to your goals and when you're selfish about it, it's easy to give up. Why? Because you think about yourself. So a lot of times when you get up in the morning and you're going on your journey for your goals and you want to hit that snooze button, instead of thinking of yourself, think about your siblings. Think about your son, your daughter. Think about, your wife, your mother, getting up for them. Actually think about doing it for somebody else, because at times when it becomes frustrating, you know what I'm saying? Like if no one's showing up or no one's buying products, if you think about the impact that you can make even to one person, that should be enough for you to keep going, just to impact one person. Because I'm telling you, a lot of you have a lot to offer. I struggle with this myself, that when you set out to do something new and you're not getting the support, you're not getting the results, a lot of times you're going to quit. But this is that struggle that I talked about. This is that journey. In the gym or in the fitness world, with me being a personal trainer, they talk about breaking down muscle fibers and ripping muscle fibers so you're sore. That's the only way you're going to build muscle. So when it comes to this journey that you're on, right, you have to continue to stick with it. You have to be persistent. You have to be consistent. And you have to have hard work. Because the thing is, if you don't have grind and effort, if you're not going to go at it every day, you know what I'm saying? If this is your passion, this is something that you love doing it, even when it's going wrong, you should want to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You should not want to give up so easily if it's your passion, because money shouldn't be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Struggle shouldn't be an issue, because, you see teachers a lot of times where you say, man, teachers don't make that much money, or policemen don't make that much money, or firemen don't make that much money, and they risk their, the firemen, the policemen risk their lives, and the teachers are there all day, but they have a passion for helping people. You know what I'm saying? They have a passion for being there, so that passion overrides, all the other stuff. That passion overrides overrides the lack of pay. That passion overrides the adversity that they have to face. And sometimes when it comes to pushing and pressing through, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? If your why, if your purpose isn't big enough for doing what you're doing, you're not going to be connected to it. You know what I'm saying? And then you must look at your value system. So when you're talking about why people give up, so let's say, for example, you're giving up because you're not valuing the result, or you're not valuing the fact that you can help people over, the money part, or struggling. Because a lot of times when you start up, you have to know it's not going to take off right off the bat. A lot of times we see people, or we follow people on YouTube or their blogs, and they may be in that certain industry that we're in. But what happens is we're looking at these people's end result, or close to their end result, or close to their peak, meaning that they could have been doing this for 9 years. But when you follow them, they've already made it. So in your mind, you're like, man, I got to catch up with so-and-so. But look, do a lot of research, and do the research on their backstory and search videos, because I'm telling you, it will motivate you to find out how many people took 5+ years to get where they're at. And then these people are working hard. They're not sleeping. They're not spending time with their family. You know what I'm saying? They've committed to a course of action that, hey, if I continue to do this, the results will come. And so, talking about committing to a course of action, you have to have faith, and you have to believe. Like, you're never going to obtain anything in life if you don't believe you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Motivation comes from the inside out, because if I don't believe I can lose weight, if I don't believe I can start that business, if I don't believe that I can grow it, then it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to you wanting to do anything, you know what I'm saying? First, before you even thinking about giving up, you got to make sure that you believe it for yourself. I don't care how many people motivate you or push you or believe in you. If you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to do it. And if you believe you can do it, you're going to do it. And that goes both ways. Like, if you believe that you're going to mess up, if you believe that you're going to crash your business, if you believe that you're going to give up, guess what? You're going to give up, because you've already programmed your brain to process that thought. You know what I'm saying? So when it gets hard, you're going to go back to that thought that you have. Oh man, well, I knew I was going to mess up. I knew I couldn't do that. If you believe that you can do it, you're going to withstand adversity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of athletes, a lot of weight trainers, a lot of people have adversity. Even Michael Phelps. I'm pretty sure if you go back and do the research on this guy, even though he's won all these medals, that it didn't start off like that for him. So you have to commit to a course of action, and you have to start with believing in oneself. You have to believe in yourself that you can actually get it done. Because if you can believe it, then you can see it. A lot of people say, well, I believe it when I see it. Well, you have to see it and then believe it. You know what I'm saying? You have to believe it. You have to believe it. I'm going to keep stressing that. You have to believe it and see it, because if you're waiting to believe it when you see it, it may be 5-6 months, it may be 5 years before you actually see it. So you have to believe it first and then see it. You know what I'm saying? Have that faith, increase your faith, and increase that mindset that you will get it. You know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time. And outside of thinking, outside of believing that you can actually do it, what you also need to do is surround yourself with like-minded people. I know a lot of times we have close friends and we have people around, but if these people aren't speaking life into us, if they're not uplifting us, what's going to happen is, if they're talking negative, the times where they may throw out negative stuff like, girl, that's too hard, or dude, man, like, what are you doing this for? You'll never do this. It may not affect you at that moment, but when things get hard and adversity hits, you're going to play back that in your head, and you're going to accept, well, yeah, so-and-so did say it was too hard. Well, Mike did say I wouldn't do it, so, why am I doing this? Never second guess it. And if you're the type that's quit and quit and quit, think about this. What if you finished the last 3 things that you quit? Think about it. By the time you do this and you quit this and do something else, quit that and do something else, you look at it could be a year, could be 2 years. So think if you focus on that one thing for a year. You know what I'm saying? That one thing for a year. You know what I'm saying? Just plant the seed, water it, plant the seed, water it. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to do that. But imagine if you stuck with that thing for 1 or 2 years. And it will probably blossom, but what happens is, like the lady at the slot machine, we get up too early. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not comfortable to continue to struggle to see progress. You know what I'm saying? So there us as humans, we love to live in this comfort zone, whether it be physically, a mental comfort zone, you know what I'm saying, whether it be a spiritual comfort zone. We always live in the comfort zone because it's like we love certainty. Even if certainty is dysfunctional, we know where we live, we know what we're going to eat, we know when we're going to eat, we know how much money we got in the bank. But a lot of times when you look at it, discomfort is the friend of success. In order to be successful, you're going to go through some discomfort. You're going to make some changes. You may make some changes in your daily habits. You may have to get up early. You may have to go to bed later. You may have to start reading more. You may have to start, changing the way you talk, work on public speaking. So it's not going to be a comfortable journey if you're looking to be successful and if you're looking to try to revamp from quitting all the time. Because if you've been quitting this long, right, just quitting or starting something and quitting, starting something, that's a behavioral change that has to happen right away because you're not committing to a course of action. You're not having enough faith to believe in yourself to see what it's going to be like. And then you're jumping from one thing to another. So you're never becoming a master of one thing. You're never giving it time to blossom. It's like now we live in a microwave generation where due to social media and due to certain things, everything's instant. Drive through, microwave. We don't want to wait for anything. We're so impatient, and being impatient allows us to get into these runts mentally where we just want to give up because it's not happening when we want it to happen. But I'm telling you, the struggle is going to give you a valuable lesson. Every time you struggle, it's going to give you a valuable lesson. I promise you. I promise you. Throughout my life, and I'm going to share my story some, but throughout my life, right, all my biggest struggles that I wished and prayed for the end, and wished and prayed for the end, these struggles made me the man I am today. So if it weren't for those struggles, there would be no voice over the podcast. There would be no blog. There would be no motivational videos. You know why? Because I wouldn't have a story. Your struggles and the reason why you want to quit, right? Think about this. Like if you use that story and you overcame that mindset where you wanted to give up and you went through it and you were successful, think about how many people you can change that had the same mindset as you that actually wants to give up. Think about that. It's a lot of people out there that may be watching you, may be following you, and you're not going to know, trust me, because I had people that follow me that I didn't even think, like at work, people with higher positions or, people that you would think like, man, like what would they be following me for? But they're watching your life. So if you give up, you may give them every excuse in the book for them to give up. You got your family watching you. You got siblings watching you. You do not want to give anybody the excuse to give up. You do not want to give them any reason, not to support you. Because sometimes a lot of people would not support you. They won't support you financially or even being there or showing their presence if they feel like you're not going to commit to it. Because why invest money in something and this guy or this girl is going to drop out in 3 months? You know what I'm saying? Why invest money or why invest my time or why come out and support if they're going to do this for a couple weeks and then drop out? So you have to think about this. You have to be consistently committed. You know what I mean? You have to be consistently committed. And like I said, do the research and find other people. I'm guarantee you will find other people that struggled like you. You will find other people that actually quit and gave up several times and got back on the wagon. It's just you're seeing their end result. Like when you look at Beyonce, Jay-Z, you're looking at these successful entrepreneurs, these moguls, you're seeing the end result. And what's crazy is they make the most money, in my opinion, when they tell their story. Eminem's albums were successful because he told his story. You got people that's doing documentaries. New Edition basically did a documentary of their life story, and you've seen their struggle. So I'm telling you, if it comes down to you wanting to quit, think about that story. Everyone wants to have that story, but what better story is it that you overcame adversity? The world is full of adversity now, through politics, through the world, through terrorism, through, just people acting crazy. The world is full of adversity. We need more people to come out and use their voice and say, you know what? I made it, so can you. And that's all we need, and that's why I said, like, what do you do when nothing's going your way? You keep grinding, because there's someone else that's watching you that's half the same thought, but they actually threw in the towel. Some people actually committed suicide. You know, by the time I count, to 10, or by the time you count to 10, so many people have already committed suicide, and they've had the same thought you had, like nothing's working out, nothing's going my way. So, you have to think about it. Be a light to someone, but try to finish the race. Finish the race. If you look at the tortoise and the hare, the tortoise finished the race. The hare slept on him, but the tortoise finished the race. I don't care when you finish, but look, you got to work on finishing, because you can impact lives. And remember, share your story. Everyone has a story. Your story is going to be as important as the next man's story. But remember, there are people that will specifically connect with you and your story. So don't forget, and don't feel like you can't make an impact. Your goals and your vision, you can make an impact. We all, when we do things, are like planting. We're like seeds in the grass, and it's up for us to have faith that God is going to water that, and then you're going to bring forth some type of newness to the world. You know what I'm saying? So let's just continue to believe. Let's continue to grind, and I'm telling you guys, do not give up. I know it looks hard. I know your bank account looks shaky. I know that you just experienced a death in the family. A loved one just died. I know that your marriage is rocky. I know that you're single and that you want to be with somebody. I know that your heart's hurting. I know that you want to get into that school. I know that you want that promotion, but trust me, stay patient. No means no, but no creates another opportunity. Don't be afraid of no, but sometimes God isn't saying no, he's just saying not yet. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're hurting, but all this is a process to make you into the person that you were meant to be. Trust me, we've all been broken. Even the butterfly was in the cocoon at one point. You know what I'm saying? Even the cake goes into the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, before it comes out, and it tastes so good. Even diamonds are purified in the fire. So you have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through it. You have to go through it. The more and more you dodge that, the more and more you dodge going through that adversity, the more and more you just quit. You're stunning your growth. You're not going to grow that way. You're only going to grow through going through adversity and facing it. That's how you're going to conquer your fears. That's how you're going to build that self-confidence. That's how you're going to build that self-awareness to know who you are and what motivates you. Because the more you run away from it, the more tests are going to come. You're going to keep taking these tests until you pass. But I'm telling you, do not quit. Do not give up. And that's the end of the podcast. I just want to continue to motivate you guys. And I hope you subscribe to this podcast on iTunes and Amazon. And visit my website at www.iamteflonjohn.com. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Real Teflon John. And as always say, one love, be blessed.